indefinite, indefinite, pretense, pretense, peak, peak, colony, colony, separate, separate, ministry, ministry, abbey, abbey, feminist, feminist, jagged, jagged, destine, destine, patent, patent, exclusion, exclusion, immemorial, immemorial, adversity, adversity, riot, riot, headquarters, headquarters, inexhaustible, inexhaustible, capitalism, capitalism, acknowledgement, acknowledgement, metabolism, metabolism, underage, underage, adjourn, adjourn, inexpensive, inexpensive, culprit, culprit, sensitivity, sensitivity. Immigrate, immigrate, obstacle, obstacle, deliberation, deliberation, brokerage, brokerage, elevate, elevate, logically, logically, storehouse, storehouse, paralyze, paralyze, grieve, grieve, entitle, entitle, thoughtful, thoughtful, terms, terms, affliction, affliction, multiply, multiply, immeasurably, immeasurably, admirable, admirable, economically, economically, unacceptable, unacceptable, tighten, tighten, redeem, redeem, administer, administer, stubbornly, stubbornly, acknowledge, acknowledge, reactive, reactive, range, range. Uncountable, uncountable, literacy, literacy, span, span, expectancy, expectancy, moderate, moderate, constellation, constellation, isolated, isolated, immediate, immediate, dispenser, dispenser, ignoble, ignoble, modify, modify, frustration, frustration, revenue, revenue, attain, attain, elusive, elusive, gleam, gleam, fairly, fairly, rhetorical, rhetorical, strive, strive, innocent, innocent, complementary, complementary, maintain, maintain, intentionally, intentionally, thesis, thesis, singular, singular. Dropout, dropout, altitude, altitude, trespass, trespass, democracy, democracy, departure, departure, shatter, shatter, annoy, annoy, blueprint, blueprint, disperse, disperse, plummet, plummet, lawless, lawless, commemorate, commemorate, effortful, effortful, flexibility, flexibility, internal, internal, nostalgia, nostalgia, annihilate, annihilate, workforce, workforce, slaughter, slaughter, mourn, mourn, respectable, respectable, chaotic, chaotic, specimen, specimen, commander, commander, cowardly, cowardly. Scope, scope, infamous, infamous, nosedive, nosedive, rusty, rusty, omnivorous, omnivorous, fiercely, fiercely, gallop, gallop, merely, merely, photograph, photograph, obscene, obscene, paralysis, paralysis, non-profit, non-profit, inhalation, inhalation, assail, assail, vowel, vowel, invariable, invariable, deficiency, deficiency, sake, sake, recite, recite, interval, interval, deviant, deviant, stimulate, stimulate, trait, trait, personally, personally, repute, repute. Materially, materially, speculate, speculate, censor, censor, perch, perch, evenly, evenly, intrigue, intrigue, anonymity, anonymity, transmitter, transmitter, polish, polish, bloat, bloat, loudness, loudness, evolutionary, evolutionary, satire, satire, vivid, vivid, tremendously, tremendously, assign, assign, numb, numb, chemical, chemical, encircle, encircle, surplus, surplus, incineration, incineration, validate, validate, brag, brag, perpendicular, perpendicular, surveillance, surveillance. Cumulate, cumulate, lag, lag, opportunity, opportunity, intruder, intruder, tendency, tendency, penniless, penniless, collaborate, collaborate, Celsius, Celsius, glorious, glorious, installment, installment, mischievous, mischievous, reproduction, reproduction, entity, entity, loan, loan. Disturbance, disturbance. Dividend, dividend. Outweigh, outweigh. Deprived, deprived. Vertical, vertical. Urine, urine. Parable, parable. Bulk, bulk. Stabilize, stabilize. Bequest, bequest. Motive, motive. Prelude, prelude. Giggle, giggle. Voucher, voucher. Serpent, serpent. Constrain, constrain. Democratic, democratic. Repetitive, repetitive. Pelt, pelt. Reinstate, reinstate. Redemption, redemption. Tolerate, tolerate. Breadth, breadth. Nervousness, nervousness. Obligatory, obligatory. Conserve, conserve. Renowned, renowned. Costly, costly. Antiquity, antiquity. Restrain, restrain. Confession, confession. Amber, amber. Irritable, irritable. Corrode, corrode. Detection, detection. Improper, improper. Compliment, compliment. Rarely, rarely. Cowardice, cowardice. Subsidy, subsidy. Relocate, relocate. Acoustic, acoustic. Attire, attire. Propensity, propensity. Landmark, landmark. Satellite, satellite. Enmity, enmity. Bestow, bestow. Biological, biological. Ignition, ignition. Cooperation, cooperation. Predict, predict. Peddler, peddler. Moan, moan. Post-war, post-war. Captor, captor. Preclude, preclude. Storage, storage. Deceit, deceit. Spokesperson, spokesperson. Occupancy, occupancy. Rod, rod. Elector, elector. Stroller, stroller. Dagger, dagger. Helplessly, helplessly. Disabled, disabled. Bombard, bombard. Swirl, swirl. Infrared, infrared. Intervention, intervention. Worrisome, worrisome. Retribution, retribution. Override, override. Dissolute, dissolute. Deliverance, deliverance. Capacious, capacious. Ethics, ethics. Viewpoint, viewpoint. Infuse, infuse. Suitor, suitor. Specification, specification, investor, investor, irrational, irrational, pensive, pensive, narrowly, narrowly. Execution, execution, coherent, coherent, arise, arise, sweep, sweep, lineage, lineage, overpower, overpower, humiliation, humiliation, trickery, trickery, depreciation, depreciation, reluctantly, reluctantly, neglect, neglect, authenticity, authenticity, caravan, caravan, prescription, prescription, commodity, commodity, estimation, estimation, judgment, judgment, marital, marital, synthesize, synthesize, conversely, conversely, paradise, paradise, cosmopolitan, cosmopolitan, tactile, tactile, qualification, qualification, consumption, consumption. Chubby, chubby, restock, restock, loneliness, loneliness, temperance, temperance, clarity, clarity, heterogeneous, heterogeneous, pluck, pluck, irrelevant, irrelevant, contemptuous, contemptuous, veil, veil, penalty, penalty, impatience, impatience, repose, repose, plaster, plaster, inappropriate, inappropriate, definitively, definitively, lyric, lyric, unfulfilled, unfulfilled, preoccupied, preoccupied, willingness, willingness, tremble, tremble, companion, companion, mating, mating, lifespan, lifespan, physicist, physicist. Aquatic, aquatic, chemotherapy, chemotherapy, fabric, fabric, physiology, physiology, appeal, appeal, turnover, turnover, overtake, overtake, conspire, conspire, integrate, integrate, viper, viper, enticing, enticing, regime, regime, moreover, moreover, resentful, resentful, subtraction, subtraction, introspect, introspect, outbreak, outbreak, preoccupation, preoccupation, console, console, inconsistency, inconsistency, ritualize, ritualize, outrun, outrun, substandard, substandard, malicious, malicious, assassinate, assassinate. secular, secular, manual, manual, first aid, first aid, chorus, chorus, prune, prune, discrete, discrete, factually, factually, amend, amend, inhale, inhale, pertinent, pertinent, inspector, inspector, restrict, restrict, do, do, susceptible, susceptible, wield, wield, profit, profit, abide, abide, emanate, emanate, eventual, eventual, malfunction, malfunction, catastrophe, catastrophe, peculiarity, peculiarity, empathy, empathy, engrave, engrave, impediment, impediment. Quota, quota, enrage, enrage, civilian, civilian, abound, abound, invaluable, invaluable, inductive, inductive, correlate, correlate, breach, breach, arduous, arduous, setback, setback, confine, confine, appreciation, appreciation, craftsmanship, craftsmanship, indiscriminate, indiscriminate, enlist, enlist, soluble, soluble, undamaged, undamaged, virtue, virtue, convince, convince, approximately, approximately, disclosure, disclosure, inverse, inverse, warfare, warfare, dwell, dwell, pinnacle, pinnacle. Creativity, creativity, maternal, maternal, reflection, reflection, honorary, honorary, overestimate, overestimate, sniffle, sniffle, grim, grim, heartbeat, heartbeat, essential, essential, outdistance, outdistance, advocacy, advocacy, celebrity, celebrity, breeding, breeding, receptionist, receptionist, disbelieve, disbelieve, contend, contend, valid, valid, embassy, embassy, slay, slay, deepen, deepen, peculiar, peculiar, defeat, defeat, evaluate, evaluate, ally, ally, dissent, dissent. Irresistible, irresistible, derelict, derelict, steadily, steadily, profitable, profitable, diabetes, diabetes, quake, quake, relent, relent, supposition, supposition, babble, babble, peck, peck, nap, nap, disparage, disparage, sluggish, sluggish, nutritional, nutritional, donate, donate, erect, erect, sequel, sequel, misfire, misfire, prosecutor, prosecutor, squirt, squirt, tickle, tickle, sensitive, sensitive, deluxe, deluxe, deliberate, deliberate, flavor, flavor. Abrogate, abrogate, avail, avail, frivolous, frivolous, appraisal, appraisal, rebate, rebate, clockwise, clockwise, disgusting, disgusting, devotion, devotion, pneumonia, pneumonia, jeer, jeer, alignment, alignment, carriage, carriage, wrapped, wrapped, regain, regain, command, command, correspondence, correspondence, scrutinize, scrutinize, nameless, nameless, discard, discard, convergence, convergence, slumber, slumber, misconception, misconception, outburst, outburst, grassland, grassland, nullify, nullify. Injure, injure, recede, recede, sensational, sensational, subordinate, subordinate, routinely, routinely, polar, polar, deficit, deficit, assertive, assertive, refined, refined, whirl, whirl, situate, situate, hereafter, hereafter, conception, conception, incubate, incubate, profound, profound, diaper, diaper, earnest, earnest, invert, invert, traitor, traitor, prioritize, prioritize, unexpected, unexpected, emigrant, emigrant, dormancy, dormancy, mow, mow, avalanche, avalanche. Bridegroom, bridegroom, irritant, irritant, illusion, illusion, relevant, relevant, congenial, congenial, thunderclap, thunderclap, piracy, piracy, exploitation, exploitation, bioethics, bioethics, customize, customize, accolade, accolade, suspicion, suspicion, researcher, researcher, orphanage, orphanage, compose, compose, ambivalent, ambivalent, accommodate, accommodate, dispel, dispel, organization, organization, theoretical, theoretical, speculation, speculation, mobilize, mobilize, flip, flip, disable, disable, nobleman, nobleman.
Retrospect, retrospect, dare, dare, nationality, nationality, regulation, regulation, distribute, distribute, salvation, salvation, functional, functional, county, county, physiologist, physiologist, rationale, rationale, espouse, espouse, disloyal, disloyal, consistent, consistent, primitive, primitive, determination, determination, eloquence, eloquence, gadget, gadget, hazardous, hazardous, immigration, immigration, debris, debris, thud, thud, fervent, fervent, beneficial, beneficial, transparent, transparent, immunization, immunization. Diminish, diminish, hallmark, hallmark, blurry, blurry, deplorable, deplorable, align, align, standpoint, standpoint, mundane, mundane, abandon, abandon, inanimate, inanimate, reiterate, reiterate, righteous, righteous, verge, verge, aspiration, aspiration, insignificant, insignificant, persecution, persecution, additive, additive, invasive, invasive, tragedy, tragedy, advent, advent, specifically, specifically, prudence, prudence, ravage, ravage, strenuous, strenuous, therapeutic, therapeutic, click, click. Indignation, indignation, archaic, archaic, bidding, bidding, defendant, defendant, virtuous, virtuous, longitude, longitude, explorer, explorer, dimension, dimension, courtesy, courtesy, glare, glare, inoculation, inoculation, frantically, frantically, readily, readily, literal, literal, tempt, tempt, opaque, opaque, urbanization, urbanization, eventually, eventually, profuse, profuse, proficient, proficient, interlock, interlock, outlast, outlast, mast, mast, sheer, sheer, burial, burial, coma, coma, cavern, cavern, autonomy, autonomy, admission, admission, lucid, lucid, sophisticated, sophisticated, precise, precise, competitor, competitor, ambiguous, ambiguous, entice, entice, connectic, connectic, constructively, constructively, odds, odds, applaud, applaud, boredom, boredom, convey, convey, designation, designation, summons, summons, untold, untold, durable, durable, passion, passion, utility, utility, unpaid, unpaid, blocker, blocker, rural, rural, haunting, haunting, communism, communism, reprimand, reprimand, integrated, integrated, hateful, hateful, relieve, relieve, dissolution, dissolution, dynasty, dynasty, modification, modification, effective, effective, transmit, transmit, detestation, detestation, undervalue, undervalue, glorify, glorify, remedial, remedial, courageous, courageous, refract, refract, decisive, decisive, adjusted, adjusted, infect, infect, friar, friar, unlimited, unlimited, clarification, clarification, release, release, collusion, collusion, apologetic, apologetic, foster, foster, obedience, obedience, excellence, excellence, testify, testify, filthy, filthy, flexible, flexible, completion, completion, notification, notification, interpreter, interpreter, coincidence, coincidence, arrogance, arrogance, attendance, attendance, incorporate, incorporate, predictable, predictable, waiver, waiver, myriad, myriad, compile, compile, parasite, parasite, throwaway, throwaway, geometric, geometric, consequent, consequent, approval, approval, favorable, favorable, freckle, freckle, inattentive, inattentive, observe, observe, proposition, proposition, comprehensive, comprehensive, adoption, adoption, calculation, calculation, imitative, imitative, requisite, requisite, carbohydrate, carbohydrate, analytical, analytical, broth, broth, torturous, torturous, squeak, squeak, stagnant, stagnant, omen, omen, basically, basically, terminate, terminate, condone, condone, overly, overly, combat, combat, grad, grad, consciousness, consciousness, nimble, nimble, ripe, ripe, flick, flick. Wary, wary, rebirth, rebirth, suspense, suspense, finite, finite, handheld, handheld, ideology, ideology, insolvent, insolvent, misconceive, misconceive, protein, protein, forlorn, forlorn, gifted, gifted, participation, participation, disgust, disgust, hypothesis, hypothesis, liberation, liberation, acquisition, acquisition, exploration, exploration, relish, relish, mistreat, mistreat, conveyor, conveyor, constriction, constriction, reportedly, reportedly, flap, flap, officiate, officiate, trilogy, trilogy. Incredible, incredible, association, association, accustom, accustom, acquire, acquire, disciple, disciple, waterproof, waterproof, executive, executive, furnished, furnished, restful, restful, likewise, likewise, mash, mash, complementary, complementary, implausible, implausible, traverse, traverse, definite, definite, pragmatic, pragmatic, mob, mob, complacent, complacent, submission, submission, philosopher, philosopher, tenant, tenant, portion, portion, indefensible, indefensible, participate, participate, fright, fright. Mute, mute, seep, seep, eerie, eerie, wilderness, wilderness, humanist, humanist, migrate, migrate, introvert, introvert, stoop, stoop, ensemble, ensemble, profoundly, profoundly, hedge, hedge, defect, defect, commencement, commencement, psychological, psychological, weary, weary, coverage, coverage, machinery, machinery, spinal, spinal, negative, negative, grandeur, grandeur, scornful, scornful, recess, recess, sovereign, sovereign, revelation, revelation, climatology, climatology. Hostility, hostility, instill, instill, motionless, motionless, provocative, provocative, kinship, kinship, groundless, groundless, despite, despite, dazzling, dazzling, insurance, insurance, regard, regard, imaginary, imaginary, gloss, gloss, inventory, inventory, snare, snare, injustice, injustice, curb, curb, pasty, pasty, foretell, foretell, antagonism, antagonism, greasy, greasy, fasting, fasting, impertinent, impertinent, toll, toll, presumptuous, presumptuous, sneak, sneak. Gregarious, gregarious, remark, remark, pandemic, pandemic, complaint, complaint, vehement, vehement, dominate, dominate, persecute, persecute, subcultural, subcultural, abduct, abduct, autonomous, autonomous, tropics, tropics, resolve, resolve, temporary, temporary, barbarous, barbarous, enable, enable, blunt, blunt, counterfeit, counterfeit, drastically, drastically, seize fire, seize fire, divorcee, divorcee, lurk, lurk, nonetheless, nonetheless, aquarium, aquarium, eternity, eternity, disposition, disposition. Harpoon, harpoon, conduction, conduction, moderately, moderately, altruistic, altruistic, preference, preference, sentimental, sentimental, registration, registration, oppose, oppose, overcrowd, overcrowd, variation, variation, wage, wage, knowledgeable, knowledgeable, benevolent, benevolent, replicate, replicate, stubborn, stubborn, marvelously, marvelously, concave, concave, rebuff, rebuff, teeming, teeming, heretic, heretic, perplex, perplex, preposterous, preposterous, commandment, commandment, meddlesome, meddlesome, peer, peer. Herald, herald, floodgate, floodgate, wanderer, wanderer, succinct, succinct, narrate, narrate, inclusive, inclusive, ultimatum, ultimatum, requirement, requirement, ornate, ornate, grammatical, grammatical, ethical, ethical, increment, increment, toughen, toughen, originally, originally, sublime, sublime, concession, concession, outlaw, outlaw, convex, convex, magnificent, magnificent, frightening, frightening, exertion, exertion, unison, unison, dump, dump, faith, faith, ardor, ardor. Encounter, encounter, disgrace, disgrace, sensibility, sensibility, virtual, virtual, brass, brass, preface, preface, uncaring, uncaring, feudal, feudal, detest, detest, infringe, infringe, conviction, conviction, perpetual, perpetual, importance, importance, distinctive, distinctive, devastate, devastate, goddess, goddess, masterful, masterful, prone, prone, disposed, disposed, vain, vain, incompatible, incompatible, undermine, undermine, refugee, refugee, receptive, receptive, crackle, crackle. Revenge, revenge, medicinal, medicinal, recruitment, recruitment, indolence, indolence, delicate, delicate, verse, verse, contemptible, contemptible, rewarding, rewarding, metropolis, metropolis, liver, liver, permanent, permanent, publisher, publisher, routine, routine, whale, whale, archaeology, archaeology, amazement, amazement, woeful, woeful, periodically, periodically, mischief, mischief, engaged, engaged, elated, elated, implication, implication, confront, confront, symmetry, symmetry, remarkable, remarkable. Astonishment, astonishment, undercut, undercut, stain, stain, transaction, transaction, initiate, initiate, stealth, stealth, decipher, decipher, affluent, affluent, aggregation, aggregation, normalize, normalize, visibility, visibility, disdainful, disdainful, peep, peep, visible, visible, inconsiderable, inconsiderable, breakthrough, breakthrough, priest, priest, equator, equator, contention, contention, summon, summon, diameter, diameter, fishery, fishery, complex, complex, slot, slot, didactic, didactic, taint, taint, processed, processed, extrinsic, extrinsic, potential, potential, metaphor, metaphor, scarcity, scarcity, motive, motive, tactic, tactic, era, era, bitterly, bitterly, esteem, esteem, exaggerate, exaggerate, conflicting, conflicting, agreeably, agreeably, telephony, telephony, workaholic, workaholic, butler, butler, clerical, clerical, endurance, endurance, nursery, nursery, prevalent, prevalent, hardship, hardship, employment, employment, foregoing, foregoing, crust, crust, recruit, recruit, via, via, impressionist, impressionist, insolvency, insolvency, evacuate, evacuate, namely, namely, unemployment, unemployment, expected, expected, unavoidable, unavoidable, donation, donation, crucial, crucial, impair, impair, languish, languish, inauspicious, inauspicious, desperation, desperation, equivalent, equivalent, brutality, brutality, intersect, intersect, unmoved, unmoved, preach, preach, anachronism, anachronism, cohesive, cohesive, monotonous, monotonous, transient, transient, foreboding, foreboding, brochure, brochure, impudent, impudent, crush, crush, propel, propel, muse, muse, invigorate, invigorate, prop, prop, token, token, manifestation, manifestation, easygoing, easygoing, lodging, lodging, applause, applause, introspection, introspection, lousy, lousy, despise, despise, exception, exception, literary, literary, lament, lament, ashtray, ashtray, intrude, intrude, formality, formality, construe, construe, rake, rake, reconciliation, reconciliation, reclaim, reclaim,